Pride of Higara. This is Captain Soban of the fleet, Farron Shah. Looks like you could use a hand. Attention all Sobani, pick your targets and engage.
Hello everyone! Hello. This is Captain Soban. Welcome aboard to Starship in Normal Prize for another episode of Sins 2 RPG Homeworld Style Series. For those of you who are new, this is a series where we are going through a bunch of custom maps. Well, they're not really custom maps. They're just like the random generated maps that are throughout the game. We're currently doing our first map, which is the simple random two-player or random 1 versus 1 map. And our goal is to just conquer the entire map, gather some resources, gather experience for our fleet, and get them leveled up. And then as we clear the first map, we will carry our experience and resources over to the second map to get our ship stronger and stronger and stronger. And we're just going to keep going through that until we get through 15 maps. It's going to be a really, really interesting series. But as you guys can see, we have a bunch of TIE fighters and whatnot because this is all Roxanne stuff. We have a couple Imperial ships that are joining us in this RPG. We have Enormal Prize, Celestia, or Enormal Prize, which is a Colt battleship, Celestia, which is a Radiance battleship, Victoria, which is a Victory 2 class battleship, Princess Marie, who is an Achaean battlecruiser, Roxanne, which is a Venator class star destroyer, and Seraphina, which is a Halcyon carrier from the Advent side. And this is our little group. In last episode, we took down this planet, which was the minor faction. Oop, that's not the one I wanted. Minor factions of the Prancient United, and this was the first time I actually fought a minor faction. So it was a very interesting siege. It took a few episodes to get through, and some time has gone by. And I let our ships have some nice downtime and nice R&R, so they can get all of their armor repaired and their shields and everything restored and their antimatter restored, so we can get ready for the next part of this, our next adventure. And we got tons of experience. I was going through some of the footage, and we got, I think we started at 400 experience through level 4, and we are 700 experience through level 5. We got literally over an entire level worth of experience from that siege. So it was quite interesting. Oh, and before we continue, I do have some interesting news to share with you guys. The creator of the Sins 2 Babylon 5 mod named Isabel messaged me in between episodes and said that if I want to, I can use his Babylon 5 ships for the series. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm definitely gonna implement that into the series. So thank you so much, Isabel, for letting me use some of your assets for my mod. And in between this once we conquer this galaxy and move on to the next one, we're gonna have a small mini series in between those two maps where we're gonna be playing around with some of the Babylon 5 capital ships. So we'll probably spend about maybe 3 or 4 episodes with those ships. So I'm very, very excited to look into those ships. So I was doing a little bit of research online to trying to figure out like their strengths and weaknesses, and they do not have any shields. So it reminds me a lot of Homeworld, where they're just hull and armor, but they have a ton of firepower because they use fusion missiles, plasma beams, pulse cannons. I think there's even a phase ion cannon, which reminds me a lot of the Dreadnought from Homeworld 2. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to implement them in, and I might do a little bit of balancing on my end, adjust our firepower a little bit, adjust our armor a little bit to kind of match my mod a little bit more, and I'm very excited to start messing around with them. So look forward to that. It's going to be a ton of fun. But anyways, let's go ahead and grab our fleet.
The anima are restless.
What we're going to do is, in this episode, my plan is to go down here to can't say this word. Mesisa is what my brain wants to say, so that's what I'm going to call it. We're going to go down here to Mesisa. This is a tier 3 defense planet. We're going to take that one over, and then we're going to go back here to this asteroid, which is a tier 1, but has some resources and some experience we can get from a derelict that's on that planet. Then we're going to move our way up here to Lysamed, which is another tier 3 defense planet with a tier 1 derelict on it. And more importantly, it has iridium in it. And that is something we can use for upgrading our ships, because iridium we use to help our defenses, our shields, armor, and hull. And unfortunately, we're not really going to be able to use a whole lot of research on this map, which is perfectly fine because it's just the first map. Because I found out that destroying the minor factions makes it to where you don't no longer have access to the market. We can't do anything with the market because the NPCs are hostile to us. So probably in between galaxies, I'm going to make it to where our faction has control of the market, so we have access to this 24/7. Because we need access to the market in order for my mod to work right. Because we convert crystals into exotics, and we use exotics to actually do our research to upgrade our ships. That's kind of like my balance. So we can find these in derelicts, and we can convert our crystals over to what we actually want to use to upgrade. Because eventually I will be having like a utility research and weapon research like built into this as well. Right now we just have hull, shields, armor, and conversions. So that is a future thing, not a present thing. So yeah, today's plan is to take over this planet, take over that one, take over the tier 3, and then we're gonna come down here, fight this tier 1, take a little bit of money and derelict loot that we have here, then come back here. We're not gonna fight this barren planet, but we're gonna take over these 2 tier 1s and this tier 2 and the very back of the enemy base. So that is the plan, and in the next episode we'll be invading the ship graveyard. It's probably going to take 1 or 2 episodes. Hopefully it won't take as long as the last siege. And then after that, our final episode is going to be this Terran planet. And then once we take all that over, we'll come over here to claim victory for the for taking over everything on the galaxy, and we will be done with the first map. So very, very, very exciting. But hopefully these tier 3s shouldn't be too much of a threat anymore, since we are quite high level now. So there's still probably going to be a challenge, but it shouldn't be as big of a challenge as it was before we assault the volcano planet. So yeah, let me get the fleet into position, and then we'll get ready to start fighting this tier 3. I will say though, I am quite fond of this fleet. All of them do seem like they're able to cover each other pretty well, so this fleet works pretty good. Their major weakness is the fact they really don't have any ways to heal each other, and we don't have an answer to long range, to like artillery, like if we have to hit something that's really far away. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this fleet. It's been working pretty well. Oh, and I should also mention that I have balanced out Roxanne and Seraphina's fighters. So Roxanne has, I believe,
awaiting command.
2 squadrons of TIE fighters. Yeah, so she has 24 TIE fighters, 16 interceptors, 4 defenders, and 1 TIE bomber squadron. So 1 defender squadron, 2 interceptor squadrons, 2 fighter squadrons, and 1 bomber squadron. So a little bit balanced out. I'll probably switch her over a little bit more once we get to the graveyard. Also, the graveyard is going to be an interesting fight because I haven't really balanced out Advent or Vasari, so I'm going to be doing a lot of data, I'm going to be trying to pay attention to the fight really well, so in the future when we get to the next galaxy I'll balance them out a little bit more compared to what I want them to be for my mod. So that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting to try all that out. And Seraphina, I believe, yeah, you have 4 fighters squadrons and 2 bomber squadrons, so she has 40 fighters and 12 bombers. I kind of kept the bombers a little bit on the low side because we do have a lot of firepower, especially from Victoria. But this is my balanced mix for the moment. We'll see how it goes. Alright, the fleet is moving out. They are approaching Mesisa. Let's see what kind of defenses we have to fight. Will be fighting 22 light cobalt frigates, 11 medium Kodiak cruisers, 11 flak frigates, 10 LRM cruisers, 25 gunships, and 16 missile corvettes, as well as 40 bombers and 58 fighters. So it's still a pretty big fleet. Still a pretty big fleet, and we definitely don't want to underestimate them at all. But it should be hopefully an easier fight than the NPCs. Also, for the NPCs, I think I'm going to turn them into a tier system as well. The one that we just fought would be a tier 1 NPC planet, and these ones will be the metal markets, the crystal markets, the exotic markets are all going to be tier 1s, and then those special ones that I don't quite remember on top of my head, the ones that tried to like take over the galaxy, those ones will be tier 2s, and the pirate bases will be tier 3s. And the higher tier they are, the more defenses they can have, the better their passive income is, so they have more money to build fleets. The larger defense fleet they can have, the larger I forget what you call it, the scouting fleet they'll have, because I'm gonna go ahead and implement that, since you technically can't get rid of it, since they still build one even at level 0, or even when you set it to 0. So I'm just gonna make it to where the higher the tier is, the more they can build those, the higher the further we get through the campaign, the more they can have on top of that. So yeah, we'll go a little bit more in details on that here in a moment, but we are arriving, setting the game to combat speed,
for battle.
and let's get into this. The normal prize has arrived, so he's going to focus on fighting the medium Kodiak cruisers.
Wish us luck.
He's going to be our primary tank for this fight. The rest of the fleet should be arriving momentarily. We have our other two main combat ships coming in. So, Victoria,
Awaiting your command.
you are going to focus on fighting the other medium cruisers.
Order confirmed.
And
Is the
Celestia,
unity with us?
you're going to be fighting the light frigates.
May we live beyond this next conquest.
It's all good, guys. You'll be fine. The rest of the fleet is on its way. Roxanne,
Orders.
you are going to be focusing on... I think I usually have you focus on the flak frigates, so take care of those.
Attack that target.
Orders, sir.
TIE fighters, focus on the enemy fighters.
Acquiring target.
Interceptors,
Ready for battle.
same thing.
Attack that target.
Bomber standing by.
TIE bombers, I want you to focus on the medium cruisers.
Setting up my
Up the front
run,
line.
sir.
Awaiting orders.
And defenders, you focus on the bombers.
I have the target in sight.
Since you have the most DPS, you should be able to handle those bombers pretty well. Alright,
Doubt clouds our thoughts.
Seraphina, I want you to focus on... you have a lot of point defense systems, don't you? Yeah, you have 8 point defense lasers that do 3.1 DPS. You focus on the missile corvettes.
Is their demise truly ordained?
And the Advent fighters are going to focus on the enemy fighters. And the Advent bombers are going to focus on the medium cruisers. Duel and Princess Marie should be arriving here shortly. There she is.
Reporting in.
Princess Marie, your job is to help take care of the missile corvettes, because your guns, although they don't do a whole lot of damage, they are very accurate and make you very, very effective against fast-moving targets.
Brace for combat.
So focus on the missile corvettes.
Comlink active.
Alright, normal prize, get your abilities activated.
Reporting in.
Victoria, I actually figured out a couple things that I'm going to adjust for her in the next map, so I'm excited about that.
You may speak.
Awaiting command.
Everyone
Our fleet is
move
under
in.
attack.
Oh,
Good day, Commander.
Your presence is strong.
all right.
Where do you need me?
And Princess Marie, as you get closer to the front lines, we'll have you activate your ability. There you go. So everyone has a little bit more DPS. Cool, cool, cool.
Good day, Commander.
Normal prize, use your ion beam. Oh, I didn't realize that ship's shields are already down. Well, that was a little bit of waste. That's fine. Good job. Bombers must be getting through, so that's good. We have 6 TIE bombers still. Good. All of our fighters are still looking good. Our TIE defenders are looking good. We're taking down some of their fighters. Good, good.
Reporting. The action starts now. Don't be sound. How can I be of service? Good day, Commander.
Oh, you're right on the outside. How much DPS do you do now, normal prize? 21.6 with both the buffs on. With Princess Marie's buff and my buff on. Cool. And the heavy Gauss cannons.
Awaiting orders.
Now, one of the abilities I think I was going to give to Victoria, I wanted to change the Ion Blast to an ability that's kind of similar to the Cold Battleship, but it only increases the attack speed of her ion shots. Since the Victory 2, their main advantage is the fact that they're an anti-shield ship. So giving her an ability to increase the attack speed of her anti-shield weapons will make her a little bit more useful when it comes to like heavily shielded units.
Awaiting command.
So that was an idea I was throwing around.
Awaiting
And then
orders.
also giving her a taunt ability that's similar to Celestia. And giving her her own version of Animosity so she can pull off enemy ships. Speaking of that, my shields are getting a little bit low. So Celestia, if you don't mind, try to get the attention of some of the enemy ships. Thank you.
Reporting in.
Victoria, where are you going? Go ahead and stay right there for now.
Good day, Commander.
And your normal prize, I don't know why you're
This
not
shall
engaging the
be our
medium
finest
ones.
hour.
But I guess for now, until they show up, continue
Fire at
focusing
will.
on the light frigates.
Reporting.
Cool,
How
cool,
can I be
cool.
of service?
How are we doing back here?
The anima are restless.
You guys are doing well. They're down to 9 missile corvettes.
Reporting.
So we definitely are doing a lot more damage than last time we fought a tier 3. This is looking a lot better.
Reporting in.
Victoria is getting a little bit concentrated on from the long range ships.
Ready for battle.
It's normal prize.
Easily done.
I want you to move up a little bit more.
Reporting in.
Because I want you to be focused on. Yeah, Victoria's shields are failing. She's down to her armor. She does have 20,000 armor, so
Good day, Commander.
she's gonna last a while before I really have to start worrying about her.
Hey, no bid, no deal. How can I be of service?
Princess Marie,
We're underway.
I need you to move up. You're outside of more prizes range.
Unleash our wrath.
Yeah, these light corvettes are focusing on the normal prize, which is fine. He has his buff on, so he's taking less damage. The shields are getting close to failing. How are we doing on the fighter front? I haven't been paying attention to that. We're down to 9 bombers. So they're still doing their job. Make sure they're all targeting what they're supposed to be targeting. They're down to 1 fighter, so that's good. We can start freeing up our fighters. Yes. So all fighters
Orders, sir.
focus on
Commencing
wiping
attack
out
run.
the rest of the enemy bombers.
Attacking target.
TIE defender standing by.
And obviously we're down to 3 TIE bombers, 13 interceptors, 21 fighters. So we have lost a handful of fighters. Not a whole lot, but it's still looking good. Your Rise's shields just failed. So now they're going through our armor. That's perfectly fine. Your normal Rise has tons of armor, so not too worried about that yet. Celestia,
Our time has come.
keep the attention of the... let's see, how much damage have you taken? You've taken very little damage.
Our voices speak as one.
Get the attention of the entire front line. There you go.
Good day, Commander.
Oh, how are we doing on flak frigates? Okay, we're still doing good. Still wiping some of them out. Good, good, good.
Weapons online.
Our time has come.
Good day, Commander.
Boop, boop, boop. Alright, focus on wiping this one out.
Reporting in.
Everyone else is doing good. I don't really need to use telekinetic push because we're wiping out the corvettes pretty quickly as well, too. We only have 13 corvettes left.
Reporting.
Roxanne,
Open fire.
focus on them.
Your presence is strong.
Same thing with Princess Marie. Focus on the shurikens. Cool. So far, Victoria and the normal prize have lost their shields. That's about it. So we're looking good.
You may speak.
Awaiting command. Reporting in.
I don't think I really need to use my big cannons. We kill all the flak frigates? No, not yet.
How can I be of service?
Ooh, but we have killed all the big guys, so that's good.
Comlink active.
So bombers, I want you to focus on the light frigates.
Heading for attack position.
Our vengeance
And
is
Serafina,
yours.
continue focusing on the flak
Glory to
frigates
the
as well.
unity.
Roxanne, same with you. Let's fight more of those out.
Our time has come.
And Celestia, you keep getting the attention of the entire frigate armada. To help keep the DPS off of your normal prize. Good, good, good.
Good day, Commander.
In your normal prize, I don't quite know why you're fighting the flag frigates.
For the homeworld.
I appreciate it, but you need to focus on the light frigates if you don't mind.
Where do you need me?
Good. We're doing well. And Victoria's been taking most of the damage from the long-range torpedo frigates. Same thing a little bit with the normal prize, but not too bad. So yeah, this is nice. Our fleet is getting powerful. These tier 3s aren't too big of a threat anymore.
Ready for battle. Awaiting orders.
Alright, all flak frigates are killed.
Attacking target.
Roxanne, focus on the front lines.
Yes, Commander.
Victoria, I mean, you're being pretty concentrated by the long-range frigates, so
Order confirmed.
you go ahead and move out. Actually, no, continue focusing on the front lines.
Moving to
There's still
coordinates.
12 frigates. Although Celestia's got their attention, it would be good to wipe these out before they become a pain in the butt.
Reporting.
Wait a minute. Alrighty.
Unleash our wrath. Vengeance is at hand.
Alright, Celestia. Start focusing on killing those. Advent bombers, and where are my TIE bombers?
Ready for orders.
Focus on the
Bombs away.
LRM cruisers.
Ready for battle.
You know, more prize,
I'll
same
make
thing.
this short
Move out.
and Sweet.
Victoria, move out as
Awaiting
well.
orders. Moving to coordinates.
Your presence is strong.
Reporting in.
Yeah.
Your presence is strong.
Got a handful more. And we'll have this battle taken care of. How are we looking like on the experience front? Have 1,100, have 2,000. It's not bad, we gained about 300 experience. Victoria's at 500, I have 2,300. So she has quite some time till she gets to level 6.
Beg for our forgiveness.
Good day, Commander.
It's not too bad. I think Victoria is the one that took most of the damage, and that's just because she was concentrated on by the long-range missile ships. Cool. I'm really looking forward to having like a Babylon 5 battle. We're not going to be using the Babylon 5 to replace one of our capital ships. This is just what we're going to be using for the entire run through. But I'm really looking forward to doing that mini-series. Just to see how they act against these things. And probably going to do a little bit of research on the lore as well, so I can design their ships kind of a little bit more accurate to their lore of the ship descriptions. Like right now, I'm looking at Omega, the Omega capital ship, to be the main battleship, like the way the Cole is for the TEC, and Nova as their main siege ship, and I think they have a carrier class as well that I'm going to be using as the carrier ship for the Babylon 5 when I bring them into the RPG mod. And they're going to follow the same rules as I do with most of my factions in my mod, where only the carrier variant is able to use fires. So, that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to balancing all that out. But hey, we got about 2 more cruisers to kill. We'll have this area under our control. I like this fleet though. This is a really cool fleet. I like a fleet that's very diversified, where each one of them has their strengths and weaknesses, and they have other ships to help cover those. It's a really, really cool concept that I've always enjoyed. Anyways, Princess Marie,
How can I be of service?
you'll do the honors of taking this planet
We're
over.
underway.
We will get ourselves geared up, and we'll go ahead and fight this next one down here. We'll just make sure that Victoria kind of stays out of the battle so she has some time to heal. Her shields are starting to come back online, and it's going to take a while for her armor to get repaired. Because one of the big weaknesses that I gave to the Empire in my mod is they have a ton of survivability, but they have a very, very low something I wanted. Very low repair speeds, repair and regenerations. So it takes them, they have a lot of downtime if they take a lot of damage in battle. And that's just part of the Empire's cockiness of being like, yeah, we can totally win this, and then they just go in guns a-blazing, and if they can't win the battle, they either pay the price dearly by losing their ship, or it takes a long time to get it back and up and operational. Which usually by then they'll get retired and rebuilt for a new ship, because it'll probably be faster for them to do that anyways. So yeah, so just to compare, Victoria's shield regeneration rate is 5.8, where the TEC ships that don't even specialize in shields have a 9.7 currently on their regen rate. And where is Celestia, which is a ship that does heavily specialize in shields, has a regeneration rate of 27, almost 5 times faster than Victoria. So, yeah. But me and Nam usually go back and forth between different like ways we play, because me and him kind of play in we kind of play like different play styles. I think I said this like a few times over like different series we've done. But like one of the big differences between mine and his play styles is I'm very specialized in how I play. I like each one of my ships or each one of my factions to have a strength and have a like a visual strength and a visual weakness, and I usually work on building up that strength to overcome their weakness. Where Nam likes factions that are very freeform and have like their ways to cover their weaknesses so they no longer have any and they just have their strengths. And it's a cool way to play, it's just not my play style. I'd rather have like, you know, Celestia like focused heavily on getting her energy power up and her shields like overwhelming so she doesn't have to worry about her armor, her weaknesses of armor and hull, or like the Cole battleship to just overwhelm the enemy with highly defensive armor or powerful Gauss cannons and not have to worry about his weakness of not able to, you know, target fighters, or the fact that his shields fail instantly in battle. So, I don't know. That's just always been my playstyle. I love specializations. It's a really cool thing. Alrighty, we are approaching Alkari. For our next attack, this should be a very simple one because it's just a tier 1 with 7 light cobalt frigates, 12 gunships, and it does have some derelicts which are much stronger than the defenses. 3 light corvettes or light frigates and 2 medium Kodiaks and 3 LRM cruisers. So let's do this. Oh, you don't have to worry about it.
Or die trying.
You will be just fine. The rest of your fleet should be arriving shortly. There we are. For combat speed, Victoria did get a little bit of healing done. She's up to 4,000 shields and 9,500 armor.
Order confirmed.
Boop boop.
Our time has come.
Celestia,
Feel our
light frigate, focus on the light corvettes. Roxanne, focus on the light corvettes or light frigates. Boop, 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 boop. Seraphina,
Our vengeance is
focus on the
yours.
gunships.
Any last words?
And Princess Marie should be arriving shortly. And fighters, yep, focus on the gunships. There she is.
Where do you need me?
And Princess Marie, I want you to focus on the gunships.
Detour while we clear a path.
Bombers, light frigates,
Heading for attack
and
position.
all fighters focus on the gunships.
For the Empire.
TIE Defender standing by. I have the target in sight.
Here we go. We're off.
Ready for battle.
Let's get back to equal justice. Increase fear and suspicion. Repeat. Let's get back to equal
Unleash our wrath.
Let's get back to equal justice.
Celestia does 16.4 for heavy beams without her her buff on because she's not getting attacked.
Awaiting orders.
Victoria is still healing. She hasn't been hit yet. They've been focusing on the normal prize.
Ready for battle.
Cool. We have 6 shurikens and 2 light frigates left. Then we get to fight the derelicts. Which this should still be pretty easy. Also, I haven't really gone through the all the ship adjustments I made, so we might go through as we're fighting this. Because I've adjusted most of the, actually I think all of the TEC ships by now, for what I wanted to be for eventually what was going to be my hardcore mod, which I'm still developing, but I'm focusing heavily on the RPG mod right now. And eventually I will start be working more on the hardcore mod once I'm pretty satisfied with the RPG mod. But anyways, as everyone makes their way over, let me give them
This won't take long.
their orders. So Enorma Prize, focus on the medium Kodiaks.
You may speak.
Celestia, focus on the light
Retribution is
frigates. Victoria,
Yes, Commander.
focus on the mediums.
Heading to destination.
Awaiting command.
Roxanne, I want you to focus on the LRMs.
Attack!
Focus on the LRMs.
Where do you need
Princess
me?
Marie,
This should
light
be a
frigates.
routine combat mission.
So yeah, and then before they actually start doing a lot of their fighting, I will go through a little bit of the enemy stats that I've adjusted. So light frigates have 525 shields, 655 armor, and 735 hull. I reduced the amount of shields to kind of make them a little bit more towards what I think the TEC should be, and gave them more armor. Also adjusted the armor strength to be 50. I don't remember what vanilla values are, but those are my values. They also have a speed of 700 because I've adjusted all of the ship's speed to be a little bit more homeworld-like. So the smaller the ship, the faster it is. And they do 13.3 DPS with their medium autocannons because I didn't think they did enough DPS before, because they're supposed to be our frontline frigate. And then the medium Kodiaks I've adjusted a little bit as well. From their vanilla values, they have 825 shields, 1075 armor, and 1250 hull, with 75 armor strength because they're the medium class compared to the light class. They also do 13 DPS with their autocannon and 5 DPS with the light autocannon. I also adjusted their pierce to make a little bit more sense, 150 on the medium autocannon and 50 on the light autocannon. And they have a speed of 550. What was the armor piercing on light frigates? 100. So it's supposed to be a frigate versus frigate type ship. And then the LRMs have 750 shields, 785 armor, and 1,135 hull. Again, I think I just increased the armor but reduced the shields. Also gave them 50 armor strength, which is a little bit low for a cruiser class ship, but still pretty decent because it's a combat ship. Speed of 500, it's a little bit slower than the others, and their medium missile does 20 DPS with 400 piercing. So it's a powerful ship. I can't remember if I buffed that or not. I think I might have buffed it. To kind of give it a little bit more of a long range roll. Anyways,
Our time has
we'll
come.
move all of our ships out.
The anima are restless.
Princess Marie, you don't have to have your inspiring broadcast on anymore.
Our vengeance is yours. Our time has come.
And let's go out and move these guys out. We might actually kill most of these before we even get there, because we do have a pretty good supply of fighters, and those bombers, yeah, his shields are already down. Those bombers are quite useful against them. Those proton torpedoes that the defenders shoot are not useful. Yeah, you could see the armor go down every time every time those bombers hit. They are deadly. There we go. It's interesting to see the mixture of Advent ships with TIE fighters. It's really cool. The fleet is still moving out. Pretty sure the fighters are going to have most of that done by the time they reach there. We're going to go ahead and put the game back at 1x speed, because there's no reason for me to go in combat mode if we don't have any problems with the fight. Although since I play combat speed at 50% all the time, when it's in normal speed, it feels like it's sped up, even though it's not. Alright. The LRM cruiser done. Serafina has entered the ring.
Online. Moving
I'm gonna
out.
make sure
Where
that
do you
everyone
need
gets
me?
inside the ring,
Sound plan.
so they all get their bonus. We should be able to kill all this with our defensive weapons. No problem. Cool. There's just one more light frigate, which is getting annihilated from all the bombs. It is dead. Alrighty, and we're at 1,317 experience. This will give us 1,000 experience split between all of our ships. So yeah, that will be really, really cool. Oop, Victoria,
Awaiting your command.
back
Heading
here.
to destination.
Armor Rise, get back in here. Alright. We now have the derelict under our control. We're now up to almost 1,500 experience on the main fleet. Roxanne is at 923. She has a long time till she levels, but everyone else has about 500 more experience until they're level 6.
Good day, Commander.
Which I am
At last.
very, very excited for. Because once these guys get to level 6, we'll have the ability to retreat with Princess Marie.
You may
Celestia will
speak.
have her cleansing ability, so she'll be able to do a lot of DPS.
Ready
Enormal
for
Prize
battle.
will have Finest Hour, so he'll be able to heal himself, so he'll survive a little bit better, be a little bit more of a tank,
Reporting in.
and also be able to restore his antimatter, so he can use his main abilities a little bit more frequently.
The anima are restless.
Serafina will be able to activate a shield on all of her ships. I don't know if this... It does say projects shields to all owned strike craft at the planet. This might be a little bit overpowered. Because this, I think this means it'll affect my TIE fighters as well. But I really, really want to test that because I don't know. Never used this ability with multiple different faction of fighters in the same fleet, so it's gonna be interesting. But anyways,
Comlink
Princess
active.
Marie, need you to colonize this planet for me.
Ready for battle.
That'll be number
A new
11
colony has been founded.
that we have cleared on this map. And then our next destination is gonna be down here. By the time we get to this point, Victoria should be pretty much prepared. She's up to about 11,000 of her armor back and half of her shields are back, so she should be good enough to fight that. And we haven't really been having a whole lot of problems with tier 3, so this should be an easy one. But anyways,
Our voices speak as one.
I'm gonna go ahead and get her fleet into position, and I'll be back when we're ready to invade this planet.
The Baker have arrived. Emergency hyperspace procedures initiated. The mothership must survive.